From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your morning update.
Cascade Paint and Supply is Reading's oldest family-owned paint store, established in 1953. We are the largest Dunn Edwards dealer in the nation, and most of our products are made in the U.S. Our friendly and knowledgeable staff are ready to answer your questions and help you today.
Well, get ready, everyone. Award-winning AJ Lee and Blue Summit are bringing their high-energy, jaw-dropping roots sound to the Cascade Theater on Saturday, November 1st. From festival lot jams to the national stage, this Santa Cruz band is redefining bluegrass with soul, grit, and California charm. Don't miss your chance to see AJ Lee and Blue Summit live in concert. Tickets are on sale now. Grab yours today at cascadetheater.org. They've got some amazing music, so be sure to check that out if you like that bluegrass music. All right, take a look at the radar out there this morning, and not a lot going on, is there? Boy, it was active for some of us. This was one of those storms where some of you got pounded and hit hard with heavy rainfall. Others, all right, a little bit of rain. And others, nothing. It was one of those storms that, especially if you were anticipating the rain, you're like, when is this going to happen? And it just didn't. And it all had to do with the positioning and the timing of where that area of low pressure decided to go. This was one of those forecasts where you shift that storm just a little bit to the west or east, and suddenly the forecast completely changes for one particular area or region. So take a look at the rainfall totals. Yeah, I mean, look at that. Eureka, 0.83. Redway, 0.41. Crescent City, though, didn't see very much. About 0.2 of an inch of rainfall. Hoopa, about a half an inch. A little bit more than that out towards parts of Trinity County. Now look at west of I-5. That's where we got some of the heaviest rainfall. But east of I-5, Chico, the exception, didn't see much, right? And then you head into the eastern mountains, and not much there either. Susanville, nothing. And Alturas, only about 0.06 of an inch of rainfall. And that was because of some of those afternoon showers and thunderstorms that developed. So again, very impressive for some, and not impressive at all for others. Now, there still is a winter storm warning until 5 o'clock tomorrow morning, but honestly, I think that should be allowed to expire sooner than 5 a.m. Wednesday. And I'll show you why here in just a second. But first, here's your weather headlines. Cool and unsettled today, dry and warmer by the middle of the week. Mountain and coastal showers could be here by Sunday, maybe lingering into Monday. Confidence on that not too terribly high. And most of next week looking dry and mild. All right, so here is your Krueger's Quickcast for your Tuesday, October 14th. Let's get you out the door this morning. You're going to be dry. I think everyone will be looking at dry conditions at 8 o'clock this morning. There's some clouds, some fog. There's going to be some patchy fog in some areas, especially those mountain valleys, inland valleys. That's certainly something you'll have to watch for this morning. So there's that area of low pressure I was talking about. You see how it shifted down to the south. The center of that low is now well south of San Francisco, but the flow around that low is bringing in the clouds this morning. But look where most of the rain is. Down to our south, Sacramento, southward, into the Sierra, seeing some of that snow as well. Fresno, Bakersfield, getting hit with some heavier rainfall. So let's take a look at the HRRR forecast model. And honestly, when I look at this model and our in-house model, which we'll look at in our deeper dive, we'll compare the two, I am more in line with the HRRR. Let me show you here what's going on here. So you can see as we go into 9 o'clock this morning, it's dry. We're actually seeing some clearing off to the north-northwest, Reading, Trinity County, the North Coast, and even parts of western Siskiyou County. That may be a little premature, but we are going to see some clearing in some of those areas. Now, look at noon today. You see how some of those are trying to work their way into places like Willows, Oroville, Chico, Butte, Glenn counties, for example. But it's not very impressive. And that's if it can really sustain itself. Now, we go into about 4 o'clock in the afternoon, and most of it's down to the south. But you see how you have the clouds pushing in, and it's trying to produce some of those showers for places like Red Bluff, and then some development late in the afternoon, evening around the Bernie area, and then that will work its way down the mountains, and that may actually lose some of its energy moving to the south and west. So could it go as far north as Bernie and then work its way to the south and west? We'll see. But that's something we'll, again, take a closer look at in the deeper dive and kind of analyze that a little bit more. But first, let's take a look at your forecast for today. I think mainly dry for Reading, Cottonwood. Red Bluff southward, you've got a slight chance for showers, okay, and through the afternoon. But mainly dry for Siskiyou County, Modoc County, Even Lassen County having a hard time seeing anything. It's going to be mainly south into Plumas possibly. All right, now we're going to go ahead and take a look at our 7-day forecast, and it's dry. Dry through Saturday. I've included a chance for showers on Sunday, and the reason being is there's mainly mountain showers. But some of those could try to work their way into the valley. We'll see. That's a long ways out. Even those mountain showers not looking all that promising. And that may linger on into your Monday as well. We take a look at your 7-day forecast. Now, Susanville, I've still got your chance for showers in there this afternoon. Some of that wraparound moisture could work its way in, but otherwise dry for many other, most of Northern California. And then dry through Saturday, and there's that chance for showers coming into Sunday and possibly into Monday. All right, here's a look at your deeper dive forecast. Let's get into it. Let's really analyze what's going to happen today and, of course, what we can expect for the rest of the week. So here's the satellite image. Now, this is something I was talking about yesterday. It's this, you know, what do they call it? I think it's that typical saying where it's that fine tuning. You're really trying to, that thread and needle, right? That thread in the needle. That's what we're dealing with this storm system. Because any kind of shift in the projected location of this storm system can have a major impact on who sees rain and who doesn't. That was the case yesterday, and that'll be the case again here for today. So this low pressure system yesterday was riding down the coast. Okay, so we knew that, but we didn't know how far off to the west or to the east it would be. A little shift to the west, and you didn't see any rainfall, much rainfall in the eastern mountains, and that's essentially what happened. But we did see rain for most of us in the valley, some in the valley a lot more than others, especially the south end of the valley where that flow was just perfect to bring that really good, decent, good rainfall into Glenn and parts of Butte County and even parts of Tehama County, right? But then northward, it wasn't quite as impressive. Then, of course, some good rainfall in Trinity County, the coast as well, earlier on in the day because that flow, again, was perfect. Now, we've been watching this area of low pressure, how far south it's going to go before it makes that turn to the east. It's showing signs this morning of now making its progression to the east. So we can say that the center of the low is right here. If we look at the flow around that area of low pressure, it's mainly right here. But there are going to be some disturbances that come around it, and we could see some developing showers as a result. So the main flow right here, that's where most of the rain is going to be. As you can see here, basically around Sacramento southward. But with the flow around that, you've still got on the outer perimeter of that some clouds that'll come in, some instability, and there could be some showers developing as we go mainly into the afternoon. And by the way, you saw that snow that was on the Sierra. There actually are some chain requirements here. Kind of interesting here. Also, as you head northeast of Fresno. These are all just kind of, that's construction, but interesting, right? Because we are seeing that snow in those higher elevations. But of course, Northern California, no chain requirements because the snow levels were just a bit too high. But we did see snow yesterday on Scott Mountain Pass. I do know that. Take a look at the chances for thunderstorms. Yes, I think the Storm Prediction Center is doing a pretty good job here with that potential maybe in southeastern portions of Plumas County. So let's take a look at our in-house model. Now you remember, by around midday, the HRRR forecast model did have a little bit of activity trying to develop in Chico, Willows, and Oroville. Could you see a stray sprinkle in the mid to late morning hours in those areas? Sure. But notice again where the bulk of that rain is, even south of places like Plumas County. That's midday today. But you see the lack of cloud cover elsewhere. Some good sunshine. Now, there it is, 5 p.m. So I think this model may be a little aggressive with how far north this is going. The HRRR was having it develop a little bit to the south of Boerne, but for the most part, they both agree that there could be some development around that flow, say around the Boerne area, and then this will work its way to the southeast, or southwest. So I think Redding will most likely dodge it. If this holds on to itself, places like Red Bluff, Corning, Chico, Willows, Oroville, if this development that we see here works its way down, yes, you could see a stray shower developing late this afternoon, early this evening. Here's 8 o'clock. You see how it's trying to sustain itself. But I do think Red Bluff, Corning, Willows, Chico, Oroville, you got that chance. But look where the bulk of the activity is, out towards Portola, but mainly the snow to the south of that, some of that heavier rainfall. Now, we go into tonight, tomorrow morning, now it's done with. I think we could see some fog in the Sacramento Valley, I think we can see a lot of fog in many of the mountain valleys as well tomorrow morning, especially to the east here. But that will burn off through the day. And I do expect to see, we'll call it partly cloudy, but dry for your Wednesday, right? And then we take you into your Thursday morning, Thursday afternoon. Look at that, plenty of sunshine, maybe some fog developing along the coast. So here's the longer big picture. That's storm system finally well out of here. We've got high pressure building in. So Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, right? All beautiful fall weather and dry. But there's that next storm system we got our eyes on. That could be coming in Sunday, and there may be some lingering activity coming into your Monday as well. We'll watch it. You know, the models are still trying to iron this out, so we'll be ironing out those details as well. But still, below normal temperatures are in that long range. You can see that in the 10-day trend. 81 is that normal high for Redding. We should stay below that for the next 10 days. A little bit of a spike here Thursday, Friday, Saturday, but that spike is actually not that bad, right? Upper 70s, I'll take it. Temperatures dropping down, though, in the low to mid 70s here by the time you get into Wednesday, Thursday of next week. Here's your lake levels, and we're still over 100% for that historical average. Didn't see much of a drop for Lake Oroville over the last several days. It's been over a foot, so it's nice to see that it's a much smaller drop here over the last 24 hours for Lake Oroville. All right, your wave heights, let's take you into the afternoon today and tomorrow. You can see those wave heights are starting to decrease, which is good, which means now we don't have to really worry about those small craft advisories. Your winds today still a little breezy out of the north at about 10 to 15 knots. So here's your neighborhood forecast, sponsored in part by Dignity Health. All right, you've got those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s for your daytime highs. You're dry today. You're dry tomorrow all the way through Saturday with that chance for showers coming in by Sunday. Your North Coast neighborhood forecast, looking at dry conditions today all the way through Saturday, a chance for showers by Sunday. We'll take you up to the north, 71 degrees for Orleans, 75 for Hoopa today, 75 in Willow Creek. Absolutely gorgeous. You're dry as well. Now for Siskiyou County, I've got you mainly dry today. In extreme eastern Siskiyou, you can see some clouds. Some models want to bring in a straight sprinkle or light shower, but mainly dry. Same story for Modoc County. Some of the models want to bring a little bit of activity here late this afternoon, but I think you're just a bit too far north in that flow. But if you see a straight shower this afternoon, don't be surprised. Eastern Mountains, this is where we're going to see the best chance for some of that development, and you can see especially around the Bernie area, but north of that, chances are slimmer. Susanville, Janesville, Doyle, all of those, Lassen and Plumas counties, all seeing that potential today, but then drying out by tomorrow. All right, your Dignity Health Valley neighborhood forecast. So, again, Corning, Orland, Willows, Hamilton City, Los Molinos, Chico, Durham, Biggs, Gridley, Orville, all these areas have that chance for especially a late afternoon shower. But say Pasquenta, Elk Creek, probably dry through the day today. Let's take a look at that 7-day forecast for Chico. I put PM in there for that chance for showers, but otherwise you're dry through Wednesday through Saturday, and maybe a chance for showers in the valley by Sunday, but it looks like mainly in the mountains on Sunday. Here's your valley neighborhood forecast to the north, with 70 degrees out towards Redding, 67 in Whiskeytown. So Redding, Anderson, Cottonwood, I think you're dry all day today. But places like Red Bluff, you may get caught up in some of that activity, but Red Bluff may even be a little bit too far to the north. Taking a look at that 7-day forecast for Redding, it's dry through Saturday, slight chance for those showers on Sunday, and then of course dry and a little bit cooler on Monday with a high of about 67 degrees. That's your morning update. I'll be back again at noon with the latest check of your forecast. Have a great rest of your morning.
At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.